It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on S3. And officially, welcome to the Culinary Hotline. Blake, ting. Come on. So it is International Chocolate Day on Friday. We cannot wait. We all love chocolate. And in light of this rather decadent day, we have themed today's hotline to all things chocolates. So we have invited a very special guest to share her favorite chocolate recipes with us. Private chef and sweet treat expert, Ayesha Suleiman. She is here. And listen, also, if you have any culinary questions around chocolate or melting chocolate, whatever the case may be, you want to join in on that discussion, you can send us your voice notes to our WhatsApp line 0634088863. We're looking forward to hear from you. Ayesha, hello and good morning.
Good morning.
I love this because there's a lot of chocolate, and we are gearing up for a lot of chocolate, and I love this. I was just laughing as we were talking off air.
Yes.
My mom always had melting chocolate in the cupboards. And this is not normally for eating, but
No.
you can.
You can. I mean, why not?
But it would go less and less.
And
but
less.
I was just saying she never had this much in the cupboard. But we are making a chocolate skillet.
Yes.
Topped with a little bit of ice cream.
Of course.
And this is what we are going to make from scratch right now.
Yes,
so
let's
you
start.
put me to work, Aisha.
Awesome. So I'm going to ask you to crack those 3 eggs for me, please.
Okay,
Or
one has
2
been
eggs
done
at least.
already.
Yes, one's been done.
Just to
And
show
then
that it's an egg.
Yes, and then I'm going to get started on the butter. So we are going to melt some, oh, that's nice and hot.
Okay.
Salted butter.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how
Yes.
challenging is this recipe?
Oh, it's super simple. And it's one of those things where you mix everything, you chuck it, goes in the oven, we leave it.
Okay.
Super, super
so
quick.
pretty easy.
Pretty easy.
It sounds nice and quick as well.
That's what I love about these things. I mean, as much as I am a chef, I don't like to spend a lot of time in the kitchen. I'm one of them. I get a bit lazy every now and then.
You want to just produce the epic flavors very quickly and then get it out there.
Get into there.
Yes.
It's especially with the dessert. I mean, it's where you've got chocolate, you don't want to spend too much time because you want to get into it, especially once everything starts smelling really good. You're going to see what's going to be happening.
I presume I'm also just kind of
Yes,
whisk
we're
this
going
up
to
a
whisk
little
that
bit.
lightly for me, please.
Okay.
We've got the salted butter that we've lightly melted. If you wanted to take this a step further, you could also brown your butter. And it just gives that a really nice nutty flavor.
That's it.
If you wanted to do that. So while you're doing the
Okay,
eggs...
so butter goes in there.
Yes, that's butter. We're just going
Right.
to set that aside to let it cool for a little bit. And then we're going to mix in our dry ingredients, which is our sugar, flour, and our cocoa.
Cocoa.
Yes,
Cacao.
cacao. That's the first bit of chocolate for the
Right,
day.
and this is your...
Vanilla, 1 teaspoon
You know,
of
this
vanilla.
is probably, I'm not going to lie, the best smell in the
it
world.
definitely is.
A vanilla little essence there.
It
Okay.
is. Have you ever eaten a vanilla pod raw?
No, I haven't.
Not the same flavor.
No, that's the thing.
Not the
Also,
same
if you
flavor.
taste this, it's not the same
not
thing.
it doesn't
The
smell.
smell is deceiving.
It's one of those things where the smell and the taste are two
I know,
completely different
I know.
things.
No, for sure.
Goes for cocoa as well.
For you, exactly.
I think a lot of kids, especially, have found it out the hard way.
It looks good, but...
Don't eat it.
Okay.
So we've got the dry ingredients that have all mixed
Right.
together. And so now I am going to slightly and very slowly add.
Okay. Is there anything that I can do?
You're going to keep whisking the eggs for me.
Oh, yes. Okay,
Yes,
so...
and then I'm going to slowly add the
Because
butter.
we don't want our eggs now to
to
cook
cook,
here.
exactly. So we're going
We
to
want to temper it.
Exactly, that's
Ooh,
perfect.
look at that. That word just came. I haven't used temper in a while.
You know what? It's good kitchen language. You're good.
Yeah, okay.
So we're just going to keep doing that. The butter has actually browned
Little
quite
bit-
a bit.
little bit
yeah.
nutty there, yeah.
A little bit of nut flavor. Oops, there we go.
But we love chocolate and some
chocolate.
nuts. You know, come on, it's a winning combination.
You can, in actual fact, one of the good things is you could add nuts to this recipe as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. So now
Look
we're going
at that.
Yeah,
We have perfectly tempered eggs,
non-scrambled.
non-scrambled. Okay,
Add
so
the vanilla to that.
vanilla essence goes in there.
Yeah.
And
And
you
then-
can obviously use also fresh vanilla.
Oh, by all means,
if you
do
have,
vanilla pods, vanilla seeds, vanilla paste, powder as well, any sort of vanilla. Especially in a recipe like this, I think it doesn't really matter what type of vanilla you use.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the power is not that overpowering,
All right.
the flavor.
So just a quick one for those of you who just tuned in right now. This is the Culinary Hotline this morning, and it's all about chocolate.
Yes.
Gearing up for World Chocolate Day on Friday, and right now Chef Aisha is here, and she's making a delicious chocolate skillet, which is pretty simple so far,
It
I won't
is,
lie.
Do you want to mix while I pour?
You
Let's
know,
do that.
while I'm here,
Might as well put you to work.
that's it.
Let's get that in. So we want to make sure that we get a nice, smooth texture that's
it.
lump-free.
You're gonna check
And
this
you've got the
out
muscle,
now.
so we're going to leave that.
It's
we're
gonna
leave
happen.
that for you.
It's gonna happen. But you would normally use maybe like a spatula or something,
You
right?
could use a spatula, you could use
Yeah.
we could use a whisk.
Don't
and
worry,
then
don't
our oven is...
You know, a little bit of mess. If you don't mess in the kitchen, you're not actually
Then
cooking.
you're not doing it right. No.
Exactly. Really, I just made that up.
No,
but
no,
I'm
no,
glad you
no,
said
it
it.
is.
It's
If
great.
there isn't a mess, you're not doing it correctly.
Okay, well, look at that.
And that you can see.
Look at that.
The
Now it's
texture.
getting there very nicely. This is
It's a, that's why I said I'm going to leave you to do that. That's the hard work.
I feel for this poor whisk here. Okay.
He's surviving. He's okay.
Is it okay?
That
Okay.
is perfectly fine. So the texture that we ended up with, as you can see, it's kind of like a soft
Yes.
cookie brownie texture. And
Okay.
that's what's going to give us that nice gooey chocolatey center.
All right, so we have that.
Then we've
Okay.
got that,
What
yes.
is the next step?
So our oven has already been preheated to 180, and we are now going to pour this deliciousness
In here.
into our skillet. Yes.
Okay, and I see that you have a little cutout of baking paper.
Yes, so the prepared pan, it is not really necessary to do the baking paper, but if you wanted to, you could.
Okay.
So we've obviously sprayed with our baking spray.
Okay.
And then pop that at the
pop
bottom.
that on top there.
Yeah, and now we are just going to scoop
Okay.
that. Let's do that. Let's get that.
Righto.
all. And it's quite a bit of a sticky.
All right, remember, if you have any culinary conundrums around chocolate specifically this morning, chat to us. If you want to know something, if you want to ask your question to Chef Aisha this morning, 063 408 8863. That is our number.
And our little paper seems to be moving.
Yeah. Okay.
We're going to spread him and hope the paper stays in place.
Yeah. It's like, there we go.
There we
Maybe
go,
if you
just a little pat.
There we go. Look at that. Okay. Well, obviously, that's as it bakes. It's going
It
to
will start,
set
yes,
a little
start
bit.
to
Yeah.
set. And if you wanted to, you wanted to add the chocolate flavor more, add some chocolate chips.
Okay,
add
I was
some
about to
chocolate
ask because
pieces.
you can. So we've got a wonderful array of little goodies
Yeah.
here. So you can little white chocolate
You
buttons.
could, by
or
all
these
means, you could do-
caramel chips. You can do. Oh, well, maybe not
yes.
caramel chips. I don't know. That wouldn't go too
No,
nicely,
it
would
would.
it? Would it?
Well, yeah, chocolate
Okay,
and caramel.
Okay.
Perfect flavor together.
So that goes into the oven.
Oven, yes.
And then
At
how long?
180. We're going to start it's between 20 minutes, and then you can check. So what you want is you're looking for a nice shiny top once it bakes.
Yeah.
And you can sort of do the finger test is what I like. So you can just touch after
Yeah.
20 minutes. You're looking for a nice cracked top, but also a nice goofy center. So when you press, it's kind of got to give in just a smidgen.
So
Just a little.
basically like a brownie kind of
Like
vibe.
a really good brownie.
Yeah, so crispy on the outside, but
yes,
that
nice,
not
and
gooey
soft
on the
and
inside.
gooey, chocolatey, melted goodness on the inside.
All right, all
Yes.
right. And then it comes out like
comes
this.
out looking
There you'll
like
see the
that,
final
yes.
product right now. And we've topped it off with some ice cream. I'm surprised the ice cream didn't melt yet. It's starting to a
It's
little
starting
bit.
to.
But that's a nice thing because it will
That's
start melting
all
now.
into the cake, and it would be perfection.
And then you kind of just slice it out like a cake, I
You could
suppose, and
slice it
serve
out like a cake, or you could be, probably what I would do is I just go in with a spoon.
You know what?
You could
I think that's a great
Just go in with the spoon.
after dinner for a dessert.
You
You
could
know,
just-
get
yeah.
the family and just get a
Exactly.
spoon
Everybody
in
get a
hand
spoon.
and go for it. All right. Well, we're going to leave it for now.
Yes.
I'll taste it a little bit later. But if you want to get your hands on the recipe, I mean, this is really so simple. It really is
so easy.
Thank you very much
Yes,
for
you're
that.
welcome.
You can check out the whole recipe on our website as well as a list of ingredients, expressoshow.com. Go check it out there. But it is a chocolate affair right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show this morning for your culinary hotline. So stick around. We have another segment with Aisha coming up in just a bit.
It's my feel good breakfast show.
Welcome back to another installment of the Culinary Hotline. Bling! Sing, sing, sing! Oh, it's a chocolate-themed hotline ahead of World Chocolate Day on Friday. And Chef Aisha Suleiman is in our kitchen this morning sharing her top chocolate recipes. And these are amazing. I kind of feel like this is holy grail kind of a stuff for a lot of people. It's just like, whoa, if you can get this right, you are winning at life, okay?
Yes.
But this has a lot of rather intimidating steps. I'm going to say it off the bat because I'm terrible when it comes to the baking process because of steps like this.
Yes.
So where do we begin?
So, well, we're not going to necessarily call this baking today. It's all on the stovetop. So we're going to say it's cooking.
You see,
dessert.
she's doing that
Yes.
because I told her I can't bake, but I'm pretty good at cooking. We're
Yes.
cooking a cake. We're cooking
We
a
are
pudding.
cooking a pudding today. So we're going to start off with some of our milk. We're just going to heat that up. Oh, that is a very hot pan.
Oh, that's for the
Let's
gram. We
maybe-
just wanted something
yeah,
spectacular.
Let's take that off the heat for a little bit. Let's do that. And obviously we want people to be as careful as possible.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially when we're working with heat. So we've gone that, and then we've added sugar. So the thing what we want to do with this is we want to dissolve our sugar in the milk because we don't want a dainty texture. We want really at the end of this a nice luscious and smooth and a
Like
clean.
velvety.
Yes, there we
Yes,
go. That's
okay.
exactly what we're looking for. So we're doing that, and then what I'm going to ask you to do, if you would mind,
With absolute pleasure.
we're going to do the dry ingredients. So
Okay.
we've got corn flour, cocoa powder is the first bit of chocolate that we are doing,
Corn flour,
and the remainder amount of our sugar.
Because, and I hate to say, I mean, mouthfeel sounds like such an unromantic word, but when it comes to pudding,
Yes.
that texture and mouthfeel is vitally important, hey?
There's no other way to put it, unfortunately. That is what you're looking for, is something that's, like we said, it's velvety, it's smooth. You're also looking for silky. That's a nice way to say it.
Silky,
A silky
I
texture,
like that.
yes. We're going to add the remaining amount of our quarter cup of milk. So we're just going to be doing that so that once we add everything together, you're not left
bit
with...
more incorporated.
Yeah, it's a little bit more incorporated. We're not getting any flour or...
Okay, I see
Or
what you mean.
cocoa,
Yeah, okay.
You see what we're doing?
So this is kind of the common thread through this, is just
Yes.
keep thinking about the texture of that finished
Yes.
product. So if you can break things down, get the granular
Exactly.
elements to dissolve,
Here we
break
go.
down, we are winning at life.
Awesome.
If you've got any amazing chocolate recipes that you want to share with us or some questions for Aisha, please send them through 063 408 8863. We've got a chocolate genius in the house today, so let's not waste this opportunity.
So now we are going to do is we are going to be adding the chocolate mixture that we made over here into the hot milk. And we are going to just get all of that in there. Let's not waste.
I like the fact that there are layers. to
There
this
is so much things going on. So it's a little bit more of a, I want to say, technical dessert. But at the end, you are going to be so happy with the
In
result.
that, it's quite comforting because there's little room to kind of be taken astray down. If you get the numbers right, if you
Yes.
follow the process, you're going to get to an end result.
And that's the thing with baking, is that it's technical. And a lot of people say baking is a science. And that is the truth. So it's not, unfortunately, it's not like cooking where you can just...
But the problem is you guys don't help us because you make about 3,000 of these desserts a week. So when you come and you can measure 3 grams and 4 grams. You're like, okay, that's fine. And you just intuitively do it. But I liken it to jazz, of all things, because jazz feels unstructured.
Yes.
But the best jazz musicians work off such a solid grounding. And I think baking probably has that same...
It has the exact
No,
same
don't get ahead of
thing.
yourself.
Yeah, so what we've got right now is the milk mixture with the cocoa mixture. So what we're looking for is we're going to continue stirring this. We just want this to get slightly thick.
Okay.
And what the corn flour is the ingredient that will do that.
It's going to kind of solidify.
Let's solidify that, just thicken that a little bit. And then while that is doing the thing, we have got over here 2 whole eggs and 1 egg yolk.
Okay.
So we're going to take that and we're going to mix that up. And then just as we spoke earlier about tempering, we are going to be doing that.
Okay, so
again.
when working with chocolate, when working with eggs and heat, there's a way that we do this to make sure that we are not going to kind of ruin the integrity of that ingredient. So
Yeah.
with the eggs, obviously the heat is a very important thing because we don't want scrambled
No, we
eggs.
don't. Yeah, there's nothing worse than having a dessert, especially things like creme brulee. It's one of my absolute favorite desserts.
Oh, but it's a fine line, yeah.
Nothing worse than getting into that once you've cracked that top layer and you get in and then it's scrambled egg.
It's like
Oh.
a eggy. But
Yeah.
it takes on a different relevance when we talk about tempering the chocolate.
Yes.
Because, yeah, it's chocolate. Why can't you just
Yes.
eat it? Why do we need to temper the chocolate? What happens in that process?
In this process, so in this process, for this one, we need to temper because we, like we said, we don't want to cook the eggs. So we are going to be adding. Oh, okay. You want to do that for me?
I'll whisk for you.
And then
This
I'll whisk.
feels
So what
like a
we're doing for
two-man.
tempering for eggs is you're going to be adding a little of the hot liquid at a time while you're whisking, keeping it moving around. So you want to keep the eggs moving around, and you add a little bit at a time.
Touch.
There we go.
Oh, you can see
Exactly
that
that. Can you see?
thickening
Immediately doing that. We're just going to keep doing that.
Oh, yay.
And then once we feel that we've safely slightly started cooking our eggs,
We've moved past
we've
the
moved
threshold.
past that. You can do that. And then we are going to add it back onto the stove. We're just going to put that heat back on. So now this is where you've got to watch because even though there's corn flour, we are still working with eggs. So we need to have the temperature on a nice medium heat.
Okay,
'cause
medium heat is the way to go.
Yes.
Okay.
So I would rather say low and slow.
Low
would
and
best.
slow. Okay.
Just to make sure that we don't overcook
Don't just
our
rush it for
product.
the sake of and then end up ruining all of these.
Exactly. I mean, and this is quite a process, so you don't want to have to have gone through all the process and then at the end
And then
you kind
ruin
of
it
slightly
number
ruin
99.
it.
No,
Yes.
for sure. And we're making the most delectable, decadent chocolate puddings right now. And I know you can get the mundane and you can get next level. And I have a feeling this is going to be very much
is,
next
yes.
level.
This is-
But you want that. When you're heroing an ingredient like chocolate and using only that ingredient pretty much, you've got to do it justice.
No,
You've
you
gotta
have to. You
respect it.
definitely have to. And this is one of the more complicated ways of doing this. There is obviously a slower way, a much quicker way to do this, and I do that one sometimes at home.
Yeah,
like
no,
I've
it's
said,
all right.
I'm
We're not
I'm a bit
judging. No, we are not judging at all. It's the end result
It's
that we
the
are
end
after.
result that matters.
But if you do enjoy this sort of stuff, there is something very fulfilling about going through a process like this,
Yes.
especially for the A-type personalities who can go through this meticulous process and then arrive at this exquisite end result. But in terms of enjoying yourself in this space and educating yourself, this is one of those recipes where you're picking up a lot of different techniques.
It is. Like we spoke about the tempering.
I
You
love
were
it.
working with chocolate.
This is going to teach you lessons that you can carry into other contexts.
Exactly.
Oh, you can
Look
see how
at
that's
that starting to
thickening
thicken.
beautifully.
So now what we're going to do is we're just going to remove it from the heat for like
Okay.
a little bit. And we are going to first start with our chocolates. We've got some really good chocolate. Here we go.
And I like the fact now that our source chocolate is of such a high quality. And I know we've got like an artisanal mushroom in South Africa. Everything is just blowing up in that
Yeah.
space, which is beautiful. But it means we get such good chocolate, such
do,
good homemade produce, such good access to this kind of stuff. Oh, look at it.
It's immediate. The heat is really good, so the chocolate is melting really, really well.
Oh,
and
my
it's that went
word.
quick. It actually went really, really quick.
It's thickened beautifully.
Beautifully.
But yeah, I was expecting this to be a marathon, but it's actually turning
no.
into a middle distance.
A middle distance.
race. I love it, like an 800 meters. Yeah.
Oh, can you smell that?
Oh, it is
That's just like
exquisite.
really dark. So we're going to be adding the vanilla, just a little bit at a time.
Wow.
Just we're going to add that, and then lastly, the thing that's going to give this that nice silkiness is
There we
the
go.
2 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to do that back on the heat.
And
if
do
you will.
yourself a favor, use the best of everything that you can. The base chocolate, you can source amazing chocolate. Use good butter, good eggs, good
yes.
fresh ingredients. This might be a strange thing. The eggs, are they cold, warm? Do you leave them in the fridge? Do you let them get to room temperature? What do you reckon?
Baking, always room temperature. eggs.
Always room temperature. I
eggs.
love that.
Yes.
So we are creating a number of unbelievably delicious chocolate recipes in light of Friday being Chocolate Day. And if you've got any questions for Chef Aisha, she is a tome of knowledge. If you want to share some of your chocolate inspiration with her and plug into this, you can do that right now. WhatsApp us 063-408-8863. Drop us a voice note, send us a video, pictures of your amazing creations. We are being inspired by chocolate. And wow, all of a sudden it looks like a velvet sheen.
Exactly, that was the butter. So what we're looking for now is we can actually start turning the heat a little bit lower. Finished product is, look at that. You want it to cut to the back of a spoon. So by
For
that
sure.
you can look at that. And a simple test is you can just drag your finger and make sure that it holds.
Holds. Oh, it's
That's
got a
what
bit of
you're looking for.
backbone.
There we go. So you're looking
love that.
for that.
Okay, we're going to do the finishing touches here to this
Yes.
absolutely delicious creation. Don't worry, Aisha's not going anywhere. She tried to leave earlier and we just wouldn't let her. We've locked the doors because we want the chocolate to stay. As I said, if you want to share your inspiration, get any questions answered, 063-408-8863, the Culinary Hotline. Bling! Ding, ding, ding! Continues in just a moment. Oh my word, look at it.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, yes, Mzansi, welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. And finally, I get time with this queen in the kitchen. It's chocolate time, and we've been making the most delicious chocolate recipes ahead of World Chocolate Day. Yes, it is coming, and we've got private chef Aisha Suleiman. And to end it off, she has a decadent mocha recipe to share with us that is a must-try on a cold winter's day. I'm absolutely here for this.
Yes, let's do this.
Let's do this. So, how do we do this?
We are going to start off with 1 cup of freshly brewed coffee on
Okay,
the stove. So we're going to
nice.
do that.
Okay,
We're
all
gonna
right.
get that nice and hot.
Can I assist you for
Yeah,
that? All right,
there we
that's
go.
on.
I think we've got a nice,
Beautiful
You can pour your
that in
coffee.
there.
You're going to get that nice and hot. And And once
So this is
that
going to
heats up-
give us a little bit of a kicker. This is going to
Oh,
be
this is definitely.
a little bit of a waker-upper, not just an indulgent
No,
meal,
definitely.
right?
If you want to have your dessert and your coffee all in one in
Nice.
the morning, this is what I'd recommend you do.
Okay.
So we've got the coffee, and once that heats up, then I'm going to ask you to add chocolate. We've got nice dark
So you're
chocolate
going to
chips.
melt the dark chocolate in there.
into the coffee.
Oh, well
That's how
played.
it
Is it
starts.
all going in here?
It's going all in,
Right.
and we're just going to let that heat up.
Okay.
And we are going to, a good idea probably to just, whisk
Turn
that
that up a bit. Okay, I'll
do
whisk
that
it up for you at your
until all the
service.
chocolate melts.
Yes.
And this is really quick and easy. We're going to do all of that, and then we're just going to add milk, and it's almost done.
Almost done.
It's
All right. So we
perfectly
kind of just
quick.
wait for this to melt.
Yeah.
At the same time, I want to ask you, chocolate for you, do you have a favorite? I know that's probably the hardest
Ooh,
question
that's a very
anyone's
hard-
ever asked
yeah,
you.
gosh.
Like, prepare, don't have to worry about like the type. I'm
Yeah.
talking more like, is it a chocolate bar? Is it is it in a liquid form? Is it a hot chocolate, dark chocolate? Do you like a cake? What kind?
Oh, gosh.
You know what I mean?
I do. I will say this. I make, probably I shouldn't toot my own horn, but I do probably make one of the best chocolate cakes.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people will agree with me when it says that. But lately, I've been going through a lot of chocolate at home. I don't know what's going on.
Don't worry.
But a chocolate bar is always my go-to.
I think you can't really like worry about defending yourself because the problem with you is that you make things taste so good. So if you can't resist, that's not a bad
That's
thing.
not a good-
That's a
bad thing.
really
Yeah, it's
good
actually
thing.
a really
You know what I
good
mean? So don't worry about that. It looks like my chocolate is almost at a full melt here.
Awesome.
What kind of consistency were you actually looking
So
for?
we look just for the chocolate to be melted.
Okay, fully.
Yeah,
All right.
and completely melted. And then what I have here is called a slurry. So we've got corn flour.
slurry?
Yes, corn
Okay.
flour with a little bit of the milk. So we just wanted to get the corn flour going.
What is the purpose of the corn flour?
So the corn flour will thicken our hot chocolate. So this is not a normal, thin, lackluster hot chocolate. This is going to be very reminiscent of like a good Italian hot chocolate that's
you.
nice and thick and silky once again.
Can I just show the camera
Yeah, go
this?
ahead.
Because, wow, I don't know if you guys can get a close-up on this. I've got a beautiful, perfect malt here. And is
Okay.
this what's going in?
That is perfect. So I'm going to be
Oh,
adding...
you putting that on
I'm
this?
we're
Oh,
doing
okay. Let me
everything on the
leave
stove
that here,
today.
right.
Yeah.
Make some space
So
so
we're
you
just
can pop
going
that
to
in there.
add your slurry right to that. And you are just going to keep mixing that for me, please.
Slurrified, officially.
Yes.
So what exactly should the outcome of this mixture end up
This
turning
is now going to be get really thick. So you're going to see
Okay.
there's going to be like a what we call a slow bubble. So it will boil, but it'll get like a little bit of a slow bubble versus a normal dumpling boil.
Okay.
Once we get there, we'll add the rest of the milk, and then vanilla, and then the added thing that's going to make this really good, cinnamon. Just a dash of
Give it
cinnamon.
like warm spices
Exactly.
to it as well.
It's
I'm
winter.
loving the flavor notes. I'm loving the fact that my dreams have materialized. I've seen this vision before. Hot, thick chocolate melting on a winter's day, just craving and screaming out my name, Ryle, I'm coming for you. This is
This
it.
is
Thank you,
definitely
Aisha.
it.
You have
You're
made
welcome.
dreams come true right here.
All right, so we can see that once we've got like little skin forming,
Okay.
we can add the rest of the milk. And you want to, at this point, probably you could, because it's got the corn flour in, so we're not worried. Turn it up on a full heat.
All right, full
And
heat.
then just keep going.
Keep going. And is my job here to just keep stirring this,
You
or
keep
can I
stirring.
let it do its thing? What do
You
wanna
can
do?
leave it, but then you've got to come back and you've got to keep it stirred
keep
because you don't want
checking up
anything
on
to
it.
stick to the bottom
All right.
of the
But I
pan.
think that's, even if you were someone that's going to keep checking up on it, you don't need a reminder because let me tell you, the way this thing smells right now, Mzansi, you're going to struggle to resist not coming and checking it out every time. Because, oh, I can't stop myself.
It's like you're stirring and then you just want to taste. Just to make sure.
It's called kryptonite.
That definitely is the chocolate.
All right, I absolutely love the smell of
what
this.
we
I wish Mzansi could smell it, but in goes the vanilla
Vanilla.
chance.
Yep.
Again, if you've just somehow tuned in and missed all this magic, don't worry, we got you covered because you can go to expressoshow.com and find this recipe that Aisha is putting together with such finesse. And the spicy notes we spoke about
And
is
there
coming
we go.
through.
There's cinnamon. We're just going to add that all in, and we just want to make sure that we get that really
Right.
well
I can mix this in
incorporated.
again?
Go ahead, mix.
At your service. Oh, okay.
You get
that
that
smell is
smell.
the perfect addition to what already is a beautiful balanced note of, there's a little bit of that coffee, there's a little bit of that chocolate, there's a little bit of that creaminess coming through. But, oh, this together is just absolute perfection.
There we go.
Let me get that stir in
Oh,
there
good,
properly.
good, good. So you want a nice frothy mixture. So the more you keep stirring it like that, the more air you incorporate in, the frothier it becomes, and also the better. Jeez. So good.
So this is where you put that loving in. I'm just
that
excited to
artwork.
show Mzansi what
Yes.
comes out when we pour this thing because I didn't back you. I didn't think this was going to look as great as it is because you only get like 5 minutes to do this. And I know
No,
you
you
get a lot
don't.
more time, but wow,
Yeah.
we've made it happen. Do you think this is ready?
That is ready.
Should we pour it out and,
let's pour it.
where
We'll
can we-
maybe.
I'll pop it in there, maybe,
it
if
in
that's
there.
okay.
Do
Let's
it
see if
there.
this works well. Oh, careful now. It's a little bit hot. Don't burn your hands. Ooh.
There we go.
Absolutely nailed it. Thank you
Yum.
for looking
You're
after me, kitchen
welcome.
gods. And thank you, Aisha, for putting... Well, I'm not going to drink that just yet. It's a little bit hot. Let me try a little sip.
Just.
Whoa!
There we go.
Whoa, okay. The hype is real. Aisha knows what she's talking about. You want to get this recipe. You want to warm up the soul, the belly, and everything that is chilled this winter because this recipe has it all. And, oh, it's
There
not
we
done
go.
yet.
We're not
Let me just
done.
add a little pizzazz there.
Just
Very
finish
nice.
this
What did you put
off.
on top of that?
So we've just got some fresh cream.
Oh, yeah.
Whipped cream that you can do. And if you wanted to add the, oops, we might just drop that. Up the flavor, a little dusting of cocoa. You could also do another dusting of espresso powder on top if you wanted to add the coffee flavor more. But
Are you just showing off now?
there we go.
You're just showing off now, and I absolutely love it. Thank you so much,
You're
Isha. That is absolutely incredible. A culinary conundrum that's been solved. If you're wondering how to find the best chocolate drink ever, then this might be it. I love it. I don't know if we have any more of this, but officially, I'm going to say thank you so much for
You're
this. Thank
welcome.
you, Mzansi, for joining us. If it was a conundrum or not, it doesn't matter because that's officially the Culinary Hotline. Bling! Ching, ching, ching! Aisha in the building. Nice.